I now declare the October, can I have your attention please? I now declare the October 2025 special meeting of Council open at 5 p.m. and welcome all of those in attendance. I would now like to invite Neville Collard forward to perform the Welcome to Country.
Thank you, Your Honour. To the CEO, is that working?
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, now it is. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks girls. Thank you for inviting me. Special occasion tonight, isn't it?
Jennifer's on the way.
And I had a practice run at City of Melville last night. And it was the shortest council meeting I ever been to. 4 minutes. So I'm really pleased to be here to introduce myself, Neville. I'm the Noongar Elder who come and do culture for the council. And obviously we got the new councillors and family members. Pretty important day. And I better not talk too much, I better keep going. Otherwise Her Honour will kick me in the pants. But it's great, given me great pleasure to come along and do the Noongar welcome. And to everyone in the council who's here, a couple of directors, a couple of councillors just a couple of years ago, good, and to introduce you all. So with that I always say, Kaya, Kaya, Kaya. The Noongars are Jurapan, to Wanging Ngunda Kuli Nicha, to the Mayor of the Melville City Council, and to where the Buddhi is called, and the Yorgas and the Marman, and now we've got the Mort, the family, and the Kullangas who come along to celebrate tonight. And I'd like to say that the council has been very good to the Noongars and to the elders in the area. They always consult us and we assist them to resolve issues that maybe the council is a bit technical about, but we can come along and we can bring our people into line, you know, as to which is the right thing to do, and not put the worry onto the council because it's not right. But I'd like to welcome you all here to the council and the new councillors who come along to join the city, and I think it's a really important night. And I'm only going to keep it short and sweet, but before I do, I'd like to Wanging the Murich Wearing the Kuli Nicha to the Mayor of the Melville City Council. To Jinung Nunuk, Wanging Nunuk, and Kulin with Nunuk, as you're cooling into the Buddha on the Noongar Buja. I ask for the good spirits to come walk with you, talk with you, and look after you as you travel into the future on the Noongar land. And with that, my last word is Buddha one. I'll see you later.
Thank you very much, Neville, for that welcome to country. Now, I draw your attention to the disclaimer on the screen. The affirmation of civic duty and responsibility on the screen. The advice of audio-visual live streaming and recording on the screen. I also advise that the purpose of this meeting is to conduct the declaration of office ceremony for the newly elected councillors, elect the Deputy Mayor and elect representatives for Council Committees, Resource Recovery Group and Wowga South Metro Zone. Item 2, attendance and apologies. Councillor Daniel Lim is on approved leave of absence for this evening, and Councillor Spanbrook is Councillor, she's not quite sworn in yet, but Jennifer Spanbrook is on her way. Item 3, declarations by members. We now move to declarations of office, and I will call forward the new councillor, or the CEO will call forward the new council-elects individually to come forward and read and sign their declarations of office. As the CEO introduces you, please come forward.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I please ask Clive Ross to come forward to take the declaration of office as an elected member for the Applecross Mount Pleasant ward for the City of Melville. Clive brings a wealth of experience to his role as councillor, having previously worked as a certified practising accountant and head of a special investigations section in the Australian Taxation Office, working on joint task force with the Federal and State Police and the National Crime Authority, as well as serving as a WA police officer in the Metropolitan and Country WA. Clive has also been a small business operator with offices at the Canning Bridge and Kearns Crescent areas in the city. Clive is married to Jennifer. They live in Applecross and have been proud residents in the City of Melville for over 45 years. Their two daughters attended Mel Maria Pignatelli Primary School and Santa Maria College in Atterdale before graduating from the University of WA in Crawley. Before his election to council in October 2021, Clive was actively involved in shaping local planning policies. He was a founding member of the stakeholder working group that developed the City of Melville Local Planning Policy 1.20, adopted by the City of Melville Council in February 2021. He also contributed to the Community Reference Group, which made key recommendations in relation to the review of the Canning Bridge Activity Centre Plan, now with the WA Planning Commission, focused on reducing height limits and density, easing traffic congestion and introducing green corridors in Canning Bridge and Mount Pleasant. Clive has been a strong advocate for local green spaces, working with the community and former councillors to establish the Applecross Town Square and Esplanade Park in Mount Pleasant. Since 2017, he has led and continues his ongoing efforts to protect mature trees across the city. With his background in accounting and small business, Clive is committed to ensuring a fair and transparent balance between delivering essential city services and easing economic pressures on ratepayers and business owners. Thank you. I now invite Clive Ross to read the Declaration of Office.
I, Clive Ross of 3D Road, Applecross, having been elected to the office of Councillor of the City of Melville, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people of the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the City of Melville Code of Conduct for elected members, committee members and candidates adopted under Section 5.104 of the Local Government Act 1995, declared at Melville on 21 October 2025.
Thank you. Now, do you want to hold that up?
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, that's... Oh, sorry, I think governance need to have that. Thank you. Thank you. I will now call forward Nicole Robbins to come and take the declaration of office as an elected member for the Bateman, Cardinia, Murdoch ward for the City of Melville. Nicole has lived in the City of Melville her whole life and has strong ties to the Bateman, Cardinia, Murdoch ward. She grew up in Cardinia, attending Cardinia Primary School, then Somerville Baptist College in Murdoch, and later studied at Murdoch University, all within the ward she now proudly represents. Nicole holds a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry and Mathematics and Statistics, along with a Diploma of Education. She has spent most of her adult life teaching high school mathematics in local schools, helping students build confidence and skills that will serve them well into the future. Outside of teaching, Nicole has been an active volunteer in the community. She has served on the boards of Cardinia Primary School and the Kalungamaya Community Centre and has worked closely with a range of local groups, sporting and community-based, to support their goals and initiatives. Passionate about helping people, she enjoys working alongside residents to solve problems and make a positive difference. Nicole believes local government plays a vital role in people's everyday lives. She's committed to ensuring the city continues to deliver high-quality core services, reviews its operations regularly, and keeps rates as low as possible while meeting the needs of the community. Nicole would also like to sincerely thank her family for their ongoing support, especially her husband Brendan, whose encouragement and understanding have been invaluable throughout her journey. Re-elected to represent the Bateman-Cardinia-Murdoch ward, Nicole is incredibly grateful for the trust and support shown by the community. She's honoured to continue serving and looks forward to working with residents, local organisations and her fellow councillors to help make the City of Melville an even better place to live, work and play. I'd now like to invite Nicole Robbins to read the Declaration of Office.
I, Nicole Robbins, having been elected to the office of Councillor of the City of Melville, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people of the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the City of Melville Code of Conduct for elected members, committee members and candidates adopted under Section 5.104 of the Local Government Act 1995.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you. I would like to now call forward George Panayotou to come and take the declaration of office as an elected member for the Bicton, Attadale, Alfred Cove ward for the City of Melville. As a long-term resident of more than 25 years, George and his wife Natalie raised their 5 children in Melville, building strong ties across our schools, sporting clubs and local community networks. This deep connection has shaped his commitment to ensuring our suburbs remain vibrant, sustainable and family-friendly places to live. George's professional background spans more than 3 decades in the resources and operations sectors, where he has developed a strong foundation in leadership, risk management and community engagement. These experiences, combined with his ongoing volunteer work as Rear Commodore Mooring and Storage at the East Fremantle Yacht Club and convener of the Friends of Wal Hughes and Ernst Stapleton Reserves, have reinforced the importance of collaboration, accountability and practical decision-making. As a councillor, George will continue to advocate for balanced development, enhanced public amenities and the preservation of our natural environment, particularly our treasured foreshore reserves and tree canopy. George believes local government should focus on listening to residents, delivering value for ratepayers and protecting what makes our community special. Above all, he brings to his role a genuine desire to serve. George looks forward to working with his fellow councillors, the Mayor and the City Administration to deliver positive outcomes for all residents. Together, we can ensure Melville continues to thrive, keeping families at the heart of every decision. I now invite George Panayotou to read the Declaration of Office.
I, George Panayotou of Attadale, having been elected to the office of Councillor of the City of Melville, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly, with integrity, fulfil the duties of office to the people of the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, will observe the City of Melville Code of Conduct and elected members, committee members and candidates adopted under Section 5.104 of the Local Government Act 1995, declared on this date. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will now call forward Crawford York and take the declaration of office as elected member for the Central Ward for the City of Melville. Crawford and his family have been long-term residents of Central Ward. He has a strong belief in keeping our Central Ward suburbs of Ardros, Burragoon, Myree and Winthrop safe and family-friendly. He is a lawyer with 2 young children attending a local Central Ward school and participating in local community sport. Crawford believes in working for community and ensuring that council spends wisely on essential local government core services and infrastructure. He has interest in keeping council rate rises at or below inflation, community safety, sensible housing densities and increasing verge tree canopy. Crawford considers support to local sporting and community groups a priority, as these volunteer-run organisations are a vital and cost-effective way to increase the well-being of our community. He can often be seen getting injured playing Masters League football for the Brentwood Burragoon Bulldogs at Karunda Reserve. He welcomes Central Ward residents to contact him with any local government issues that they may have. I'd like to invite Crawford York to read the declaration of office. Thank you.
I, Crawford York of Burragoon, having been elected to the office of Councillor of the City of Melville, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people of the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the City of Melville Code of Conduct for elected members, committee members and candidates adopted under Section 5.104 of the Local Government Act 1995.
Okay, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Oh, well done. We need to give that to Corinne.
I will now call forward Karen Wheatland to come and take the declaration of office as elected member for the Palmyra Melville Willagee Ward for the City of Melville. Karen Wheatland begins her 3rd term representing the people of Palmyra, Melville and Willagee. Before being elected to council in 2017, Karen volunteered for many years in her local schools, sporting clubs and community groups. At the end of her last term, she was recognised with an Eminent Service Award for her contribution to local government. Representing the community is a privilege, and she's pleased to have the continued support of the people she serves. Through her campaign, she listened closely to the community, and she knows there's more work to do in Palmyra, Willagee and Melville. Karen remains deeply committed to fairness, good governance and working alongside the community to make a real difference. I'd now like to invite Karen Wheatland to read the declaration of office.
I, Karen Wheatland of Cardinia, having been elected to the office of Councillor of the City of Melville, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people of the district according to the best of my judgment and my ability, and will observe the City of Melville Code of Conduct for elected members, committee members and candidates adopted under Section 5.104 of the Local Government Act, declared at Melville on October 21st, 2025.
Congratulations. I would now like to call forward Jennifer Spanbrook to come and take the declaration as elected member for the Bull Creek Leeming Ward for the City of Melville. As a long-term resident of the City of Melville, Jennifer has experienced firsthand the many benefits that the City of Melville community offers. She believes it's a privilege to represent the residents of Bull Creek and Leeming and remains deeply committed to achieving the best possible outcomes for Melville's residents and community. Jennifer has worked hard to represent the community with integrity, transparency and genuine commitment to listening and acting on residents' concerns. She is also committed to keeping rates low, protecting our environment and improving road safety for both pedestrians and drivers. She has actively contributed to the local community through her role as a councillor, a member of the Bull Creek Primary School Board and a member and participant of the Melville Rotary Club, and is also proud to support the initiatives that improve local amenities, protect the environment and strengthen community connection. I would now like to invite Jennifer Spanbrook to read the Declaration of Office.
I, Jennifer Spanbrook of 18 Wheatley Drive, Bull Creek, having been elected to the office of Council of the City of Melville, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people of the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the City of Melville Code of Conduct for elected members, committee members and candidates adopted under section 5.104 of the Local Government Act 1995, declared at Melville on 21 October 2025. Thank you.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Okay, item 4, council prayer. I would like to invite Councillor Robbins to read the prayer for the City of Melville. Thank you.
Please join with me. O Lord God, the Father of light, from whom comes every good and perfect gift, we ask you to give your servants who bear office in this city the spirit of prudence, justice and charity, and the foresight to anticipate its future growth, that we may faithfully serve the people committed to our change, and to you be all blessing and glory forever. Amen.
Thank you, Councillor Robbins. Moving on to item 5, declarations by members. Declarations by members who have not read and given due consideration to all matters contained in the business papers presented before this meeting. Nil. Declarations by members who have received and not read the elected members' bulletin. Nil. Item 6, public question time. I now open public question time at 5:25 p.m. There are no questions received in writing prior to the meeting. Are there any questions from the floor? If there are no questions from the floor, I now close public question time at 5:25 p.m. Item 7, election of the Deputy Mayor 2025 to 2027. This is the next item for this evening, and I advise that nominations have been received from Councillor Woodall, Councillor Ross and Councillor Wheatland, and also Councillor Barber. I will now call for further nominations for office of the Deputy Mayor from October 2025 to October 2027 at 5:26 p.m. Any further nominations? If there are no further nominations, I declare the nominations closed at 5:26 p.m. Now I will invite each candidate to make a brief 5-minute presentation to Council, starting with Councillor Woodall.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm nominating for Deputy Mayor this year, and in thinking about nominating and in thinking about what I would say, I thought about what are the qualities that make a good Deputy Mayor. And I think there are 3 main sort of criteria that I'd like to just touch on. Firstly, I think a good Deputy Mayor needs to be able to chair meetings effectively and step in for the Mayor when the Mayor is absent, and that requires a good understanding of meeting procedures. Secondly, I think the Deputy Mayor needs to be someone who can work collaboratively, both with the Mayor, the CEO, other elected members and staff. And thirdly, I think the Deputy Mayor needs to be someone who's able to interact with members of the public and, if necessary, is confident making a presentation in front of members of the public as well, where required in the Mayor's absence. In thinking about these criteria, I believe I would be an effective Deputy Mayor. I've chaired meetings before, and with my legal background, I understand the meeting procedures and how meetings work, having been chair of committees before and also chaired a number of council meetings many years ago. I believe and hope that in my dealings with each of you, you found me open, honest and collaborative, and I believe I would be able to work effectively with the Mayor, the CEO, other elected members and staff on the many initiatives and projects that the City has going on at any given time. And finally, at public events, I've previously represented the City and spoken and opened those events before in the past, and I'd be confident doing this again over the next 12 months. At the City of Melville and for the new elected members, we've had, I guess, an unwritten convention of the Deputy Mayor serving 12 months and then resigning at the end of that 12 months. And the purpose of this has been to give as many elected members as possible the opportunity to be Deputy Mayor and to allow it to move around the council chamber. So I'd like to formally commit to resigning after 12 months, even though the term is technically 2 years, because I think this is a good tradition that we have at Melville and I'd like it to continue. I'd also like to make it clear that if I am successful in being elected to this position, my intention would be to resign from the JDAP so that another elected member can have an opportunity to step into that role as a full-time member. Again, so that we can have positions spread around councillors as much as possible and so that others also get these opportunities. I would be happy as Deputy Mayor to serve on 2 council internal committees if successful, and I would suggest governance and the Policy and Legislation Committee. However, I'm also open to only serving on one if there are others who wish to serve on 2. And just finally, I'd like to humbly ask for your support for the position of Deputy Mayor. I pledge to serve with humility and work collaboratively with all of you to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Woodall. Councillor Ross.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. At the risk of repeating my bio, I have to say that my qualifications are as a certified practicing or retired certified practicing accountant, head of special audit investigation section, working with federal, state police, National Crime Authority. I have had extensive experience in leading teams in bringing up graduates from the ground up in terms of working as accountants, and so handling a meeting is not something that is something I haven't done before. Before my election to council in October 2021, I actually drafted up a local planning policy 1.20 that is currently one of the policies that of the City of Melville. I'm not sure that anyone else has done that, and I would point that out as something that I have achieved even before I became a member of the council. And that's the sort of experience and knowledge that I can bring to this council. I've also been part of the founding member of the Community Reference Group that has put in a report that has also been forwarded by the council to the West Australian Planning Commission for changes to the Canning Bridge Activity Centre plan. And again, this is because in the past decisions were made that didn't comprehensively cover all the matters, and these are things that I have introduced. So in terms of my ability to contribute, I think I've already got a number of runs on the page. I don't have to make promises about what I may be able to do. I've already done them. And whilst that may not sound very humble, that is the fact. So I believe that I am a good team member and I'm a good team leader, and I can bring people together to work together where they are willing to work for the community. Part of the difficulties is that in many cases, this position is a stepping stone for others, and this is not a stepping stone for me. This is something that I'm doing in the interest of the community, and I would ask to be given the opportunity to demonstrate what can be done for the community. I brought forward a motion in June to reduce the rates, and of course, whilst that wasn't successful, it was a genuine calculation made and was quite correct in terms of what the city could afford. So, talking about governance, we've had reports brought to council which were incorrectly calculated. We've had policies brought to council that again didn't conform. So in order to correct those sorts of matters, you need someone with the experience, with the knowledge, and with the capability to lead. I'm offering that to you, and I ask for you to vote for me on that basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ross. Councillor Wheatland.
Thank you. It's kind of a bit ominous following two men that spoke so well. Look, my name is Karen Wheatland. I'm the Palmyra Melville Willagee representative, and I have served as the recent Deputy Mayor since late November in 2025. I took the reins as Deputy Mayor quite proudly after serving 7 years as an elected member, and Madam Mayor went straight on leave, so I was straight into a council meeting, and it was no easy feat, that council meeting. For those of you in the chamber that remember, it was quite a fait accompli. I managed to navigate it quite respectfully and gave everyone the opportunity to speak and to be heard, as well as the community. So, you know, that was my baptism of fire, so to speak, as Deputy Mayor, and I survived it. And I, you know, as everyone in this chamber that has stood and been the Deputy Mayor, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I learnt from that day forth about what it's required to step up. And I do note the qualities that Councillor Woodall quite rightly stated, but there's also one more quality that I think is needed to be Deputy Mayor, and that's to be available. You need to be available to attend meetings and to step into events and opportunities as required. And as a part-time worker, as a mum with grown-up children, I have no one in the home. I can honestly say, hand on my heart, that I can do that. I have no partner, which is not sad. It's by choice. But I'm quite committed to be able to try and at least continue the last 2.5 months of the 1 year that I have yet to have as Deputy Mayor. And I understand the thoughts around sharing the role of Deputy Mayor around, because it's an amazing opportunity and everyone deserves that opportunity. And I haven't had that yet. I've had 9.5 months, but that's okay. Look, I think being a deputy mayor as well is about teamwork, and it's about leading a team and collaborating with the team. It's not about what you do in the chamber. It's not about what you individually bring. It's about what we do as a collective. And I think that's really important. Let's talk about my last 8 years on council. When I was first elected, I won by 1,000 votes against 6 candidates, fully supported by my community. The second term, I was elected unopposed. This time, just on Saturday night, I was elected on the primary vote of 50.74%. Like Councillor Spambrook, we were resoundingly returned to our roles on the primary vote. So that's something I'm really, really proud of, because I worked really hard because I was fearful my candidates that were running against me were excellent candidates. But I have worked hard with my community, and, you know, the ward of Palmyra, Melville, Willagee has the highest number of electors with the lowest turnout of voters. And I believe they need a strong voice in this chamber, not just from me as the lone representative at the moment, but to lead the council to, you know, have fairness, equality, cheaper rates, good governance. So I ask you, I'm going to stop right now, I ask you all to really consider extending me for another 9.5 months, on top of my 2.5 months that would make up my 1 year as your Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wheatland. Councillor Barber.
Thank you very much. Firstly, I'd like to say congratulations to our returning councillors. Welcome back, it's great to see you. I'd like to welcome our 2 new councillors, Councillor York and Councillor Peniatu. George, I don't know whether I said that right, you might have to help me. But it's great to have you on council. I wasn't going to put my hand up for Deputy Mayor. I was Deputy Mayor a couple of years ago and I really, really enjoyed it. But I was talking to Councillor Fitzgerald and he said, "Are you going to put your hand up?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know." But it's so, I always, you know, more the merrier, I say. So there's 4 of us. I thought I'll throw my hat in the ring and make it fun. I do concur with Councillor Woodall and Councillor Wheatland in the categories needed for a Deputy Mayor. I'll just go through them again. And I certainly thought Councillor Woodall left off availability and attendance, and thank you, Councillor Wheatland, for bringing that up. I am retired and I think that I do have the availability. And when I was Deputy Mayor, I was at every meeting on a Tuesday night when I wasn't on leave, and I made that an absolute priority. I was available for the new council members to help them and assist them. So I think time is important. I like public speaking. I think I present well. I run a fairly good meeting, I believe. I was happy to step in for the Mayor and Deputy Mayor when they were unavailable at late notice. I don't have any political affiliations, not that that's a bad thing, but really my one goal is to want the best for the City of Melville, and that's really what I'm about. On that note, I fully respect my fellow councillors. I don't have any factions. I hope that I can call you all friends. I certainly believe in that, and I believe in the power of collaboration, not just amongst ourselves, but certainly with the staff and with the general public. So whoever gets voted as Deputy Mayor tonight, it's an absolute privilege, and I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Barber. I will now ask the Chief Executive Officer to conduct a secret ballot for the position of Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In accordance with the requirement of the Local Government Act 1995 and associated regulations, the secret ballot for the election of the Deputy Mayor will be by optional preferential voting. You may enter the number 1 in the box against your preferred candidate. You may also enter sequential numbers against other candidates if you so choose. Thank you. The ballot count will be undertaken once this is completed.
That was fairly quick and decisive. I advise that Councillor Woodall has been elected to the position of Deputy Mayor for the City of Melville. Would Councillor Woodall, I would like to invite you to come forward to make your declaration of office of Deputy Mayor.
I, Councillor Matthew Woodall of Ardross, having been elected to the office of Deputy Mayor of the City of Melville, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people of the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the City of Melville Code of Conduct for elected members, committee members and candidates adopted under Section 5.104 of the Local Government Act 1995.
Now, moving on to item 8, reports of the Chief Executive Officer. The first report for this evening is C25-326, election of representatives to the council committees for 2025 to 2027. An absolute majority is required. Prior to tabling this item, I advise the council that nominations have been received for the Governance Committee from Councillor Ross, Councillor Paniotu, Councillor Lim and Councillor Barber, with nominations for deputy member positions from Councillor Woodall and Councillor Robbins. Additionally, Councillor Ross has nominated as presiding member and Councillor Lim as deputy presiding member. Okay, are there any more? For Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee from Councillor Robbins, Councillor Spanbrook, Councillor York, Councillor Hong, with nominations for deputy member position from Councillor Lim. Policy and Legislation Committee from Councillor Woodall, Councillor Ross, Councillor Wheatland and Councillor Green, with nominations for deputy member positions from Councillor Spanbrook and Councillor Paniotu. Additionally, Councillor Ross and Councillor Green and Councillor Wheatland have provided nominations for presiding member for the committee, and I have also nominated as a member of each committee. The nominations received are on the screen. Are there any additional nominations from the floor?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to nominate as presiding member of the Governance Committee, if I can. Do I do that now? And how many deputy members are we allowed to have of the Policy and Legislation Committee?
We can have as many as you decide. There is no limitation on it.
I'd like to nominate as a deputy for the Policy and Legislation Committee, please.
Thank you very much. Any further nominations?
Madam Mayor,
We only have one deputy on the ARIC committee. Is there a further nomination? Councillor Woodall. So what we're going to do is divide out the committee members and deputy members from the chair, chair and the deputy chairs. Councillor Spanbrook, you have a question.
I do, thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to be a deputy on the Governance Committee too, thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Wheatland.
Just got a question around process and governance, considering that we've got one less elected member. How long is this term for? Is this going to change in March when we have the election, so we can fairly include my fellow ward councillor when they are elected?
No, this is for a 2-year term, but I will defer to the Head of Governance, Ms Newman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And through you, you may recall at a recent council meeting we had a resolution to review the committees from a member of the public, and council has agreed to do that. We do also have an extraordinary election in March of 2026, so we would be looking to review and come back to council with that so that the new elected member can participate in the committees as well. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Wheatland.
Sorry, just a little bit more clarity. So does that mean that after the review, the new elected member would have the opportunity to nominate for any committee they want and be chair of any committee they want? Is that what you mean?
Ms Newman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through you, that is what we're anticipating as the outcome of the review. Thank you.
So going back to these committees, now we have the, we'll do this all separately so everybody's in agreement. So let's talk about the Governance Committee. We have Councillor Ross, Councillor Panotu, Councillor Lim and Councillor Barber as members, and deputy members. Do you have a list of those, please? We have Councillor Woodall, Councillor Robbins and Councillor Spanbrook as deputies. Is everybody happy with that? Are there any further nominations for that committee or for being a deputy? Now, just remember something. If the deputies are not available, any elected member can be approached to go on that committee. So just because you're not listed as a deputy, it doesn't mean you cannot participate or attend or be, if there's a lack of a quorum, that you can be adopted as a voting member of that committee. So just be aware of that. Councillor Wheatland.
Look, I'm happy to nominate as deputy to both the Governance and the ARIC committee, seeing as I am the lone elected member for Palmyra Melville Willagee.
Okay, that's noted. All right, so we've now finished with the Governance Committee. I'm now going to move on to the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee. We've got Councillor Robbins, Councillor Spanbrook, Councillor York, Councillor Hong as the members, and as the deputies, we have Councillor Woodall and Councillor Lim. So we have 2 deputies. Oh, and I think Councillor Wheatland has also offered to be a deputy. Sorry, Councillor Wheatland was also added to governance as a deputy. Thank you. Are there any further nominations? Councillor Green.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'll nominate as a deputy for ARIC.
Okay, a deputy for Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee. Thank you very much. Any further nominations? All right, moving on to Policy and Legislation Committee. We have the members as Councillor Woodall, Councillor Ross, Councillor Wheatland, Councillor Green, and deputies are Councillor Spanbrook, Councillor Paniotu, Councillor Barber. Are there any further nominations? Okay, if there's no further nominations, let's talk about presiding members. Now, we'll move on to the vote for the presiding member of the Policy and Legislation Committee. Well, let's start. Well, why don't we just start with governance as we have in this list? So, okay, so we have already received a nomination from Councillor Ross to chair the Governance Committee as presiding member and Councillor Lim as deputy presiding member. Are there any further nominations from the floor? Someone?
I believe Councillor Barber nominated earlier.
You nominated for chair of the the Governance Committee?
I'm probably happy if Councillor Ross wants to do it, I guess.
No, it's not about guessing. It's about, are you nominating? Can you make a decision, please? If you nominated, did anybody receive that nomination?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't put it in writing and maybe that wasn't good governance, I'm not sure.
No, I think we can fix that. That's, are you nominating? That's the question.
And
yes or no?
if Councillor Lim's not here, how are we going to have a fair vote, or do the deputies vote?
Well, if he wants to be deputy, then there's no vote unless somebody wants to contest the position. And besides, we can still have the vote anyway in his absence.
Okay, all right then. Yeah, okay, all right.
Yes, Councillor Barber?
Yeah, okay.
You want to be the presiding member?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, any further nominations for presiding member of the Governance Committee? All right, no further nominations. We will now have a vote. Thank you. The officers are preparing the ballot papers. This is a first past the post because there are only 2 candidates. So it should be quite a quick count. Congratulations, Councillor Barber. You are now the chair of the Governance Committee. Well done. The deputy has, Councillor Lim has requested to be the deputy chair. Is there another nomination?
Can I suggest that Councillor Ross is considered in that role, or?
He has to make that suggestion. It's entirely up to him. All right, if there's no nominations from the floor, pardon? Oh, Councillor Ross, you are putting your hand up? Okay, thank you. We now have another ballot for the position of Deputy Presiding Member of Governance. While we're waiting for the ballot papers to be prepared, I'd like to announce that Councillor Spanbrook is a very proud grandmother, as from a few hours ago. So congratulations. And congratulations to a wonderful, and to, of course, her husband, and the wonderful daughter who produced a beautiful baby boy, and the husband. So congratulations, and she'll want to get away from the meeting fairly quickly afterwards to rejoin her family. It's a baby boy, little baby boy. Can I mention she was at the election count on Saturday night? It's a good thing she didn't have the baby then. I'm just grateful she waited till today. I declare now that Councillor Lim will be the Deputy Presiding Member of Governance. Moving on to Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee, the presiding member and the deputy presiding member had to be external. They have already been chosen. Policy and Legislation Committee, we have okay, thank you. Now, Councillor Ross, Councillor Green and Councillor Wheaton have provided nominations for presiding member for the Committee of Policy and Legislation. So since we need to prepare ballots again, I think we'll wait a few more minutes. Oh yes, are there any further nominations for this particular committee? If there are no further nominations, we'll proceed to the ballot. Yes, it is. Is it optional preferential? As far as I know, it would be because there's 3. Well, there's 3. There were only 2 in the previous votes, so there was no preferences, obviously, because we don't go to the preferences if there's only 2. So this is 3, so preferential. Thank you. Optional. Optional preferential. You don't have to fill in all the boxes. Councillor Green will be the presiding member of the Policy and Legislation Committee. Now, the deputy, at this point, we do not have a deputy. Any deputies? Councillor Spanbrook?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I am a deputy on the presiding member, but if no one else wants to be a deputy and you are short of the
Well,
full
actually,
members.
I'm looking for a deputy presiding member.
I understand.
Yeah,
So I'm
or
just
you're
about to
saying
say
that?
just informing you that I am a deputy on it.
Yes.
I'm happy to be a deputy
Oh.
presiding member, but of course, only if there is someone short as a full member.
No, we have to take full members only. Councillor Wheatland?
Madam Mayor, can I make a suggestion? Could we just have the runner-up of the initial vote, or can't we do that?
No, we have to run a proper ballot.
We need to get nominations.
At the moment, we're looking for nominations, and we have Councillor Wheatland, but you need to be on the committee in order to be a presiding member or a deputy presiding member. Are there any further nominations? If there are no further nominations, Councillor Wheatland is declared unopposed deputy presiding member. Well done. Now we move to the officer recommendation. The members of each committee are shown on the screen. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Well, I'm hoping they are. I haven't seen them yet. Yes, okay. Councillor Wheatland has moved the officer's recommendation. Okay, we're just putting those in now. Well, all the committees, the membership on the committees, deputy memberships on the committees, chairs of committees and deputy chairs of committees. That's what we're voting on, to adopt it as a resolution. So we'll update all of those names so you can have a look and make sure that you're happy with all of those items. Okay, we'll probably have to show that screen in 2 parts because it's a little bit big, otherwise it'll end up being so tiny you won't be able to read it. So has everybody read what's on the screen now? Okay, can we move on to the next part of the screen? Okay. Yes, we're just getting the presiding members and deputy presiding members in.
Madam Mayor, do you mind moving the screen back up to the top, please? I can just see, I think it's governance is the beginning one. Thank you.
Yes, there it is. Does any other elected member wish to see a certain part of the screen? Otherwise, presiding members are going to be entered. Okay, so would any elected member wish to see any particular part of that screen? Are you all satisfied with everything correctly being recorded? Okay, so we have a mover and seconder. Oh, a seconder. Could I have a seconder, please? I've got Councillor Wheatland, Councillor Spanbrook. Is there anyone opposed? If no one is opposed, I declare it carried. Moving on to the next item, C25327, election of representatives, Resource Recovery Group in Walga South Metropolitan Zone. We do need an absolute majority. Prior to tabling this item, I advised the Council of the nominations received for the Resource and Recovery Group, which requires 2 representatives and 1 deputy. Nominations have been received by Councillor Ross, Councillor Lim and Councillor Wheatland. Councillor Robbins as a deputy. So let's begin with nominations for 2 representatives to be a member of this committee. So,
Madam Mayor, sorry, just a clarification, please.
Yes, Councillor Wheatland.
From what I understand from our establishment agreement of RRG, there are no deputies for Resource Recovery Group.
Yeah. Governance, Ms Newman can answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. From the information we had, it did show a deputy, but we're happy to take that notice and check it. And we can leave the election of the deputy tonight if you prefer, as long as the 2 members are aware they will need to attend.
All right, so we need to have a ballot because we have 3 nominations. So we're looking for 2. Okay, this will be preferential because there are 3 candidates. Councillor Ross.
To save time, I'm happy to withdraw my nomination.
Councillor Ross has withdrawn his nomination, therefore we have 2 representatives now, Councillor Lim and Councillor Wheatland, and we're questioning whether a deputy is required. So will we be dealing with that tonight? Okay, we'll leave that for tonight and get confirmation on that. Okay, well, Walga South Metropolitan Zone, which requires 3 representatives and 1 deputy. I advise that nominations have been received from myself, Councillor Wheatland and Councillor Lim as a deputy. So we have an opportunity for 1 more person. Okay, so Councillor Lim has offer to be the third person if there was not another nomination, and then perhaps we can have a deputy member. May I suggest perhaps the CEO, because she always attends. Would that be a satisfactory? She can't.
Sorry, no, if I may. It's only elected members can be elected to the zone. The CEO comes as officer input. All the CEOs come from all the local governments.
Ms Newman, can you please give some advice on that?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and through you, I did confirm with Walga this afternoon that if there is no deputy appointed, the CEO can be appointed as the deputy and only has voting rights if one of the full members is unable to attend. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I'm happy to be a deputy on that.
You're happy to be a deputy. Okay, we do
Thank
have
you.
a deputy now.
Just to be
Councillor-
sure, so the CEO, she attends anyway, is that correct?
Yes.
Yep. Yes, I will.
But she doesn't have voting rights, so she attends anyway.
Okay.
The
Right, no
deputy gets voting rights if they're required for the meeting.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Okay. So we have a full complement of members and deputy. Are there any further nominations? All right, thank you. Moving on.
Madam Mayor, I'm happy to be a deputy for that. How many deputies do you need?
Only one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're now on to the officer's recommendation. I need a mover and seconder. Oh, Councillor Robbins moved, seconded Councillor Spanbrook. Is there anyone opposed? If no one is opposed, I declare it carried. Okay, item 9, closure. There being no further business to discuss, I declare the meeting closed at 6:15 p.m. Thank you very much for your attendance. If you could hold on for a moment, we need to close down the live streaming.